On behalf of Pakistan Air Force, Chief of the Air Staff, Pakistan Air Force, I stand here with you all with deep-rooted humility and gratitude. I am so thankful for Allah helped us in achieving whatever we desired, even whatever we deserved, more than what we deserved. For being able to be up to the task for PAF, as they say, second to none. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, as the DG ISPR mentioned, I am Deputy Chief of Air Staff Operations. I'll pick up from where I left day before yesterday. PAF versus IF, 6-0. The PAF's response has strengthened Pakistan's national security. Alhamdulillah. And it has even strengthened our commitment, the enduring commitment the PAF has for stability and peace. But I have no doubt, and I can say with assurances, that the real genius and the mastermind, the cerebrum behind the design and the aim and the structure, the game plan of PAF was the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal Zahir Ahmed Babad Sidhu. He asked us to do three things in our response: re-establish deterrence, neutralize key threats, retain control of air. And I will show you in my presentation how we try to do that. Slide. During the befitting response that we generated in our first episode, we attrited the IF's pride, the Rafales, resulting in this entire fleet almost coming to a standstill at a ground position. You could see that they were not flying after that, at least not close to their western border. This reduction in flying to bare minimum actually reduced their liberty of action. They curtailed their options. Slide. This is the Pakistan's air defense environment. Pakistan air defense environment is offensive, it's integrated, it's credible. And I'll show you. IF initiated having no space with their manned aircraft, they initiated with their unmanned aircraft operations, targeting Pakistan's civilian population and their infrastructure. Here you see all these spots all across the swath of drones and UAVs who are coming inside our territory, which is being picked up by all our radars from the moment they were entering, even before that. Slide. Now, PAF's air defense environment is suitably configured to detect enemies' low RCS radio radar cross-section, high and slow speed platforms. That you can see that they are all visible by the time they are entering. Slide. So the anti-drone systems of Pakistan Air Force and Pakistan Army also, and Navy, they rendered the enemy US drones attacks ineffective by spoofing, jamming, and making their systems, rendering them unserviceable. Slide. All drones with low cross-section also were detected, rendered useless through utilization of the indigenous GPS jamming systems that we have, the data and the SATCOM link denial that we created through our indigenous systems that we have made ourselves. So whenever those systems were attacked with the soft kill, they had their error induced into the GPSs and they were going haywire. And whenever they were coming closer to any civil population or a civil area of high value, a direct or a hot kill was achieved on them. Slide. So here you can see they were neutralized mid-air with the hard kill whenever they were coming close to any population or any area. Being in a sparsely populated area, they were left all around and they were applied with the soft kill. Slide. Now, after that, when the US chapter was over and they were fearing PAF's retribution, in utter desperation, the IF resorted to a highly escalatory, very irresponsible surface-to-surface and long-range vector application. You can see this is Suratgarh and this is our base Rafiki. This is our eastern border, and you can see the BrahMos, high-speed BrahMos traveling almost at 3,000 kilometers per hour, who are going over there and coming, numerous, one after another. And Now they were being attacked with PAF's soft kill. We were inducing the errors into them, into the GPSs, which increased their CEP. The probability of missing their target increases. And hard kill was also achieved. Here you see one of the US has gone, if by the end of the slide you see one of the US has overshot the target and gone ahead. And this is the radar picture. You can see that they are going, this BrahMos will miss the target and will go ahead and fall in some no man's land. And they are being, one after another, they are coming back, crossing the borders. They are being picked, they are being picked as soon as they are being launched. So real-time launch, mid-flight and terminal phase of all SSM, PAF has the capability. Our air defense system, as I just mentioned, is very offensive, integrated and credible. So here you see that they are being launched from Bhuj area. This is the southern part of the country. And this is our airfield Bhulari. You must have mentioned, you have seen there were a lot of mention from our counterparts. Here you see this BrahMos is coming. It's almost reaching the target, and you'll see when we will apply the soft kill, look what happened to it. It moved left and then disappeared towards the ground. I mean, this is the radar evidence that we have, that there so many of their vectors missed the targets. A lot of them did make, because they were throwing like hundreds of them. Next slide. There's one more very interesting thing that I would like you to all see. This is where it is launched from our eastern side towards Jaisalmer. This is our airfield Shahbaz, Jacobabad. Now this BrahMos is crossing on top of Shahbaz, and it is going towards our western border, almost to our neighboring country, towards that. You can see this is going there, it's going ballistic. Now they are not even threatening their neighbor, they are threatening the regional stability of the whole continent and the larger area. So effective sensor to shooter grid that was made by PAF, and the potent hardened soft kill capability that led to the missed target opportunities for lots of their surface to surface and long range vectors. Slide. Now this is another thing that I want you to all to see. This is a launch of a high speed projectile that has been launched from their area surrounding Adampur. Now these are the vectors where our radars are picking them, and it is disappearing short of Amritsar area within their own territory. I mean, this is the most absurd kind of a targeting psychology or practice that you would see, that you are not only targeting neighboring countries to your enemy, if they consider it, and your own people as well, jeopardizing their safety. I mean, this is the high-speed projectile impacting within own territory, and we have other pictures for that also. This is the repeat occurrence that happened the other night also. Slide. Now the PF's response, I would like you all to pay attention to that, because this is kind of a dizzy slide, but I will go one by one so that it's all clear. PF's response, PF's effective spectrum warfare, which supplemented the kinetic ops that we envisaged to take. The integrated, seamless, synchronous utilization of EW, cyber, and space domains, coupled with the synergetic all-domain offensive response, which orchestrated following a very intricate targeting mech, the mechanism that we undertook to engage the targets, of swift, calibrated, effect-based approach to operations, which was undertaken across complete swath of the Indian Western Front. Now you have seen in the video montage that the whole border was exposed by PF and our armed forces. So starting from the north across LOC till Kandla, with targets including airfields, ammo dumps as far and as deep as Delhi. I mean, you can say something about Islamabad, which is a stone's throw distance, and Delhi, with, as the DG ISPR mentioned, some other cards up our sleeves with more ranges. The Barnala C2 center, which is the heart of their IACCS, and other airfields, Nalia Bhuj and Kandla, as they mentioned. You can see, Google it also so that you can see the effects. PF's hypersonic missiles, unmanned force, standard weapons, and long-range vectors all were on the menu for the multi-domain operations that we undertook. So PF utilization of niche and disruptive capabilities struck deep inside the enemy. And there were like hundreds of drones that were there. Hypersonic, engaged targets, deep, precise, lethal, destructive. Slide. Just go back. I will explain the slide that is coming ahead. So our aim was to achieve ascendancy in effects so that we manage the escalation. Throughout the conflict of whatever length it was, we had the escalation management at our side. So within a short span of time of couple of hours, we had really saturated our friendly neighborhood. Next slide. This much talked about S-400 threat. As I mentioned that we were giving special attention to the Rafales in the air, so we gave our remaining part of our attention to the S-400 on ground. Now identifying S-400, attacking them is a easier part than identifying it on ground because it is mobile, it's a high value thing, and you guard it. It's kind of a center of gravity. So we were tracking through our satellite imagery well before the hostilities, as we usually do. So we had pinpointed S-400. As you can see, we knew that this is parked. It's cheeseboard radar, and the other part of the radar, the other constituents of the whole S4 battery. Slide. These coordinates, go back. These coordinates were ortho-rectified by our space department, so that you have a very precise engagement. Whenever you are throwing and employing long range vectors, you really need very precise coordinates so that you don't miss. So S-400 was at Adampur was targeted like that. Next. As I mentioned, some niche technologies and capabilities were employed. So our loiter munition and killer drone strike at PF. At Udhampur, you can see this was their complex and command and control, magnified before and after. It's not there. Now these kind of pictures, loads of pictures are there for targets. So I need not to show them. They were saying it themselves, as you saw on the montage. So PF's response remained very effective, very potent, and very effect-based. Slide. Time and place of own choosing, displaying bold, aggressive, and unwavering resolve of military leadership. I must take a moment to mention what kind of a pressure you have when this kind of a conflict arises, and I must appreciate the leadership, both the Chief of the Army Staff and Chief of the Air Staff, both. They were both very resolute and very clear in giving instructions to all of us who are the players towards the Navy, Army, and the Air Force. And that is perhaps the reason we were so sure about it, what we have to do. In speed and direction, sometimes you have to prioritize direction more than the speed. So we had the correct directions to follow. Slide. With unprecedented reach, precision, lethality, while avoiding collateral, as you have seen in the video montage. PF hit maximum number of IF airfields in a single operational package since 1971, because they crossed the international border since that, so we had to do that. Slide. While re-establishing deterrence, Pakistan negated the setting of a new normal under the hegemonistic design of a supremacist regime through swift and effective response. Slide. On a closing note, from Pakistan Air Force, PF remains committed to ensure Pakistan's airspace sovereignty and pursue peace with strength. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after